Alright, so we're going to go over what our project is looking like so far. Term project part 1. So first let's look at the tables. This is not what I used to actually initiate the tables, I just think it's easier to look at. I just kind of put it in here when I was testing, so I think we're missing one. Yeah, my group mate has one of the other tables, but they, besides the rentals, they should all be in here. So first, items, got the title, ID, price, and then price I make it so that there's 2 decimal points and a maximum of 7 decimals to the left of the decimal point. Title varchar 50, I should probably make that not null. Okay, and then ID is just an auto increment integer. Text, I intentionally made it not necessary. And then date posted, I just use the timestamp and default current timestamp, so you don't really need to, just makes it simpler. Then here we have item categories. So there's supposed to be there's supposed to be a list of categories for each item. So I kind of interpreted that as like multiple items per row. So I made a separate table for item categories, and then so I have item ID and category, and that's it. Wait. This is wrong. Oh, okay, I got confused for a second. This isn't supposed to be auto increment. I think I actually changed it in the actual, yeah. So here in the actual code, it doesn't auto increment. Yeah, I think I just didn't change that. So here we have item ID int, and then I make these two a primary key, just the 2 things, and then make item ID a foreign key to the ID and items. On delete cascade, on update cascade. I think that makes sense. Like if you delete an item from the database, the category, or from the items table, it should delete or update accordingly in the categories. These are just insert into. Then create table users. So I have user ID, varchar, password, email, first name, last name, gender, age, and then I make admin boolean not null. So this is just this is for the root user to give them special authority. So primary key, user ID, and then I put some checks on. So like check gender, I said male, female, non-binary. So it has to, ideally I think if we actually designed a register page, there'd be like a drop-down menu, and these would be the choices. Email, so this is any characters, but it has to be at least 1 character long. Then it has to have the @ then I think this is 3. Yeah, at least 2 characters, period, and then 2 more. It should probably be 3 actually, but that's the idea. The format for the email address, so it has to fit this, you know, like @ something. Yeah, so those are the tables. Let's look at the actual code. So here's our index page. It's pretty short. We have this importing the like standard tags, like standard library. This is my package. I named it Love to Code because there was a YouTube video that did that. So the package over here includes our Java files, our Java servlets, and then I don't think I need these, but Java SQL, Java IO, import those. Alright, then we have login, Don't need this anymore. Definitely, I need to clean up the code once I have a chance. But yeah, like this isn't even necessary anymore. I initially called the functions a different way, and I just didn't take this out. But now, so this is the initialize button. So that corresponds to this. When I hit it, it initializes a table, and then if I do, say, go over here, select star item categories. This was just initialized. So initialize database.jsp. Let's go to that. So probably what I'll do when well, actually, yeah, I think I kind of wasn't understanding the servlets fully. So what I ended up doing was I just made a variable of type this file, which holds a lot of the functions, and then the action for this form goes to initialize database. So it makes this variable, and then it just calls the initialize database function, and then it redirects you back to the index.jsp. So let's look at the actual code for that. This was just chunky function. So it starts off with the connect function. I took this from the sample that you gave us for the first few exercises. I write all these SQL statements, dropping tables if they exist, create table, this is what I just showed you. So create these, and then it just executes all the updates. And then this is just for me, this is just for like debugging to see, like just so I could see down in the, it's called in the console, if it was working. This is where because you said we have to have 10 items at least, so this is where I call the insert function for each table. So I made like an insert item, insert category, oh, I have insert user. I just inserted the root right now. I didn't do 10 categories for that, or 10 values for that yet. And then, okay, so as you can see, there's I just put in the root right now, and the password is pass1234. So if I go into the thing, type in root, pass1234, submit. This was all just stick debugging stuff, so it prints out, obviously I wouldn't actually have this, but prints out the from the table what query it finds, and then in the authentication function it checks if they're the same, and if it's the same it prints out authenticated, and then once we make the other page it'll redirect to the main page, so you can actually it can functionally bring you to the site that you want to go to. So some of the code is a little messy right now, but it's functional. I want to clean it up for sure. So here's the authenticate connect function. Select the password from users where user ID equals question mark, and then I do the prepared statement with that. And I take username and password as parameters. Set the username to that, so it'll return the password for the username that they put in, and then here there's a try catch. It goes result set, execute query, and then while result set next, it sets this password string that I just made up here. It it sets that to the result of the query, the password column of the query. Then catch exception E. Because I noticed that the SQL statements, when you, like, it doesn't find the, if it doesn't find anything, it'll like throw an exception. So this will just basically make it so that if they put in the wrong, if they put in the wrong username or password, it won't like shut down the program. So here, I use the dot equals. So if the password that we just got from the query equals the password that was passed in the function, then password is matched. Yeah, password is matched, return true, and that would print down here. So you can see it's just system out, so returns true, and then if it's not equal, then returns false. So let's go back over here. So this is the servlet that calls the authentication function. So here's the form action authenticate. It calls the authenticate servlet method post for privacy, input text username. So this then sends this over to the servlet, and then just submit. Okay, so then you go back over here. It goes to the do get. Ignore this. Sorry, there's a lot of debugging stuff that was helpful for me, but I think it can basically just be deleted, and this was some of that. Either create or this is trying to connect to the session, and if not, it creates one. Like if there's not already a session, it creates one, and then request the parameter using password that was just passed in through the, I think it was like HTTP. Yeah, HTTP. I don't know what the official word is, but this was for debugging too. Okay, so here we have the database connect variable, and then we have this Boolean variable try variable equals test to authenticate username password, which we just set up here. Then if authorization is true, print out this, and you would redirect, and then you do session.set attribute username, and else you don't set the session session attribute to what you found. Otherwise, that'd be defeating the purpose. Do post just redirects to do get. What else is there? Okay, so I'll show you. I realize I didn't. So I'll mess up the password. The password is pass1234, and then I'll add 5. Incorrect password. So you can see that works. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that's I think that's pretty much everything. I guess I'll just prove that this is actually created again. I'll do select star from items, and you can see this was created at 12, 23, 25, 39. If I go back, initialize. That's the current time. Has 10 attributes. Same with this one. It has has at least 10 attributes, and it has multiple categories for single item IDs. See here. You can put in the password. If it's wrong, it recognizes it. If it's right, it authenticates. It creates sessions. I've got the. It's a little messy, but I think all the functionality is there. So yeah, I think that's everything.